All right, great. Now let's start with some sharing point routing. What is sharing point routing? The idea is quite simple. This relay has analog inputs, which are the current and voltage. So sharing point routing is when you initiate, or hear the relay, everything is done by you, or you are the one who needs to add it. So you need to add the measuring or analog input that you need, whether it's current or voltage, and route it or program it with the phases or the things you need. All right, if I open here, let's first understand how things are going here. I have the measuring point, what to routing. In front of me here, I have several tabs, current measuring point and voltage measuring point. I go to the current measuring point and I find here that you can add something. It tells you 3-phase CT or single-phase CT. All right, you added one of them. And by default, the 3-phase is added for you, which is called measuring point I3-phase. All right, great. It tells you it's a measuring point for a 3-phase. All right, great. This is by default. Let's assume we are the ones who added it. It will then ask you what your connection type is and which connection you want to work with. So you will tell it whether it's 3-phase and neutral or just 3-phase, or if the 3-phase and neutral are separate, or exactly what. So based on our application, we have 3-phase and neutral. What will appear here? There should be several columns. I have one column showing with base module written above it. Our relay, the SIPROTEC 5, consists of a base module and next to it a set of extension modules, depending on the order number you have purchased. So I don't have an analog input or measuring analog input related to the current except in the base module. If I had something else, in the extension module, I would find the extension module appearing here. Therefore, this means that even if I wanted to add another surface CT, I wouldn't have a place for it. Why? Because I can't program with any I/O in another place. I only have the interfaces in the base module. Okay, here again, the ends appeared to you. It said 1A1, 1A2, 1A3, 1A4, 1A5, 1A6, 1A7, 1A8. So if you came and went to your relay manual and went 61 East, 71E, 8. So if you went to the 1, you have and went. In the layout, you will find A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, A8. So now you understand that A1 and A2 are the terminals for phase R, and these are the terminals for phase Y, the terminals for phase P, and the terminals for the neutral. So pay attention, all you have to do is right click and then tell it that this is considered for IA, this is IB, this is IC, and the last one is in. So you are well informed? If you try to add another one, whether or not you have space for it, okay, maybe I could add, for example, let's see, if I added, it might have been available to me. When, for example, if I removed this and came here and told it that here, for example, I have this on the basis that the 4th input is different and I brought it separately. But not the IN, you will find it written as IX. That's something separate, that's an Excel thing, but the word IN means that they are gathered from the same CT of yours. So what do you say to it? This is my IN, and the same goes for the voltage. When you go here in the voltage, you will also find the measuring point V3 phase. If you want to add another one, it tells you that you don't have the capability to add another single phase, but do you have a single phase? You don't have a single phase, so choose what you have. Choose between 3-phase and ground, the voltage Vn, or just 3-phase to ground voltage, or what you want. I use 3-phase to ground voltages, VA, VB, and VC. Their terminals are 1B1, B2, B3, B2. We need to operate a switch to add the voltages for VA, VB, VC. Where are their terminals? 1B1, B2, B3B2, 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 B4B2. What does this mean? Why is it repeated? Why isn't each one a single channel? Because I also went to the manual and discovered here that indeed, in 1, its terminals are B1 and B2, in 2, it is B3B2, and in 3, it is B4B2. Why? Because they are originally connected in a star connection inside my relay. I have V4, this unit, for example, if you have a broken delta or any idea you need. For instance, to activate a series in node function based on a series in node or whatever it may be, you can add a single phase and input it into the entrance, which is P5, P6, according to the manual of the relay, which is P5, P6. So you have been able to do what? You managed to operate something with this V4, and then you can use it in what function? In another function. So this is the topic related to the measuring point. What is the measuring point rule?